Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be going over some information that Scopely has provided us with in terms of us as players having a little bit of a choice on upcoming potential awakened characters. We can vote on one of 8 characters on the Scopely Discord to get awakened next, and it says, "Hey there survivors, we would like your opinion on which fighters should be awakened after the first few awakenings. Let us know your pick by reacting with the corresponding number of each fighter." And those fighters are Connor, who's strong, Princess, who's tough, Lily, who's tough, Ezekiel, who's fast, Michonne, who's strong, Jesse Anderson, who's fast, Gabriel, who is alert, and then Valentine's Davey, who is also alert. I have also done some polls on my channel, and we can see the results of these right now. I had to split these into 2 because I could only do 4 options on the results for each. So I did the 4 attacking characters and the 4 more defensively used characters. First up, we have the attacking characters, which are going to be Princess, Telltale Lily, Michonne, and Davey. And you can see the results here. A lot of people very interested in Telltale Lily. And second is Michonne, the decap, with nearly 30%. I think that even if Michonne is second here, Scopely will get a good indication that there are a lot of people interested in this character. So while she may not be super soon, she potentially could come down the line just because they know there is a lot of interest. Davey has the least interest here, but it is worth saying that these other picks are fan favorites, so he was always going to be up against it, honestly. This had 750 votes. If you do want to go and vote, you still can. Check my top comment and I should have links to my actual polls there. Now, just to touch on some small things with regards to the characters, Princess, for instance, is an honor roll specialist, and she could potentially get boosted up to honor roll 2, which gives 40% attack with each proc, but procs 3 times instead of 6. So basically you get to the max amount of damage potential on honor roll in 3 turns rather than the 6 turns previously. Obviously all her other stuff has the potential of percentages just getting increased. Her stat balance will probably be improved, more attack based, obviously higher overall stats as well. But the special skill is just worth noting on Princess here. And we also have the same on Lily, with her special skill being Waste Not. I think she was the last Waste Not character. And then afterwards, I think we had Brutus come out as the first Waste Not 2. I think the difference was basically just that more adjacent enemies got hit with the extra damage that Waste Not characters do. Now, Waste Not is pretty good when you've got a high damage character, and Lily's high damage potential is there. Right now, it's actually pretty decent. If she gets to rebalance the stats, slight boost on her damage potential, the multi-hits, I think when I originally calculated the amount of attacks that she could do on her rush was something in the region of like 36 attacks. If she gets the boosts and you put her behind like a Maggie lead who can't obviously get payback and stuff, Lily is going to be nuts. So she's got the highest votes at the moment, so there is big potential here. Worth noting on Lily as well, not so much on Princess because she doesn't have a base weapon, but Lily does have a base weapon, so this could potentially be improved. We'll have to wait and see. Then we have Decap Michonne, and her specialist skill will not change. There has not been a second version of this, and I don't think there really needs to. There's not too much they could do to Decap in itself, but obviously Beheading is the better version of it anyway, so she has got already a very nice specialist skill. Base stat improvements, percentage improvements, maybe a different order in some of the skills. I think her signature move, if the bleeding came in first, it would proc one of her passives, and it would just be nicer overall because it would give her a better damage output. But if they increase the percentages on base, and don't forget, most of these signature moves will change her turn 1 most likely as well. Lily's is going to be interesting because she's got a normalize, so we'll have to see what happens there. Again, another character where the base weapon could change, and you definitely hope would change. And I can see something very unique coming onto Michonne, or at least very powerful, because obviously Michonne is just like such a good character. And this character just always looked amazing. The double katana Michonne, I remember getting this character and using her with Sandy, and it was just great fun, honestly. So I'm really excited about the potential here. Then we have Valentine's Davey, who is a leader, so he'll probably get the same treatment that Negan got when it came to increased attack on base. Hopefully he becomes a rainbow leader, because fast and alert restriction was massive, especially considering he also had restrictions in his passives for holiday heroes, which I do see getting boosted where he gave attack and stuff, so there could be potential decent holiday heroes leader here. He also has some pretty nice control on his kit. I think he has impair and stuff like that on his signature move, and some other control on his potential. So he isn't terrible. He just lacked the stats. I think he came out at the wrong time when he was originally released. I think things were transitioning to just other things. Whereas now, we kind of do need these focus leads, so potentially Davey could be useful. Again, another weapon that is not too amazing. I would love to see in the third slot taunt on attack, where you have the potential to taunt someone when you attack them. I think it's Ronaldo's weapon from the War Store. I think it's a one-turn taunt potential, and I only say it because he's Valentine's David. He's like trying to allure people, you know, trying to be that alluring guy, but so he's going to effectively taunt them. And if they could do a heart when that happens, I don't know, it could be kind of funny. But yeah, that's kind of my idea, my thoughts on that. I think he could be decent. He just needs the right percentages, honestly. So that's it for the 4 attack characters that I did a poll on. I did also do a poll for the 4 defensive characters. It's got nearly 700 votes again. Like I say, if you want to go vote, you still can. Connor Strong has 23% of the votes. Gabriel has 11%. Jesse Anderson has 11%. And Ezekiel, the leader, has 55%. So obviously a clear favourite here, just like in the attack characters. Connor isn't as close to Ezekiel as Decap Michonne was to Lily, but it's still an obvious second place there. And I think this is pretty clear how it would go, but I'm a little bit surprised, and we'll just check out why. First, we'll check out Connor, who was the first strong Premier release, and he has got Berserker 1, and this could potentially be improved to Berserker 2. I think the only difference is it's 40% attack per proc, and that would be actually pretty good. The thing about Connor is, I want to make sure that he would be a defensive fighter. He was a defensively used fighter in the early days of the Mythic era, so I wouldn't want him to be changed into more of an attack team used fighter personally. So I'd want to make sure his actual stats were more defense based, and then he'd rely on Berserker to get attack boosts, if that makes sense. Now the main reason people loved Connor was his signature move, but this is still really strong. The main reason he fell off was because of his stats, the fact that he could just get one shot really easily, the fact that he couldn't really be utilized on attack because he just didn't deal enough damage. He was more of a defensive fighter. I think if he does get that rebalance on the stats, this alone, just as it is, will be good. But if this gets boosted where it does maybe a little bit more damage, it could be really nice indeed. Another character with a terrible weapon. We'll have to see what happens here. This could actually be pretty exciting as well. Now this is why I'm a bit surprised, because Gabriel has one of the biggest potentials of a character, and he's got one of the lowest votes. His overheal could go to overheal 2, which would obviously give bonus HP when he overheals, which is nice. And parts of his kit heal him if you know, other teammates are healed. For instance, this last one, whenever a teammate is healed, 100% chance to heal this fighter by 5% of their own max HP. That would get boosted to 10, 15, 20%, proccing overheal, then giving bonus HP to everyone. Actually has really good potential here. Obviously, the rush and signature move don't have any revive, so there potentially could be a revive tacked on. We'll have to see the limits of what the Awaken system would bring to the table, but I think Gabriel has the biggest potential of being a really nice healer on defense teams, which we don't have too many of, honestly. And I don't see Scopely releasing really top tier healers as Premier characters. Even Noor wasn't released as a Premier, she was in a Battle Pass. So yeah, I think it'd be nice to see a really good healer come out as part of the Awakened system. No attached weapon here either, so nothing too special that's going to happen. Jesse Anderson, another character that potentially could get a boost on Specialist skill from Tenacity 2. Tenacity 2 has higher percentages on the procs here, so it wouldn't be 20 and 19. I can't remember what it is. I think it's 30 and 29. I'm not 100% certain. But what's important is she'll get decap resistance that can't be removed unless she's normalized, so that would actually be pretty nice. She got infection on her adrenaline rush. She actually had some attack team potential, even though she was primarily used on defense and on Conquest. I think people did use her on Conquest. Her base weapon is terrible again. It's worse than Davies. They're saying a lot. So I think they could probably tank this out massively, reduce the incoming damage somehow in the 4 slot or something. Yeah, I feel like her weapon could be pretty decent if she did get the Awakened treatment. Now last, and by no means least, is going to be Ezekiel, and this is everyone's favourite in the defensive characters by the looks of things. If we look at his leader skill, all teammates get 25% defense. I can see this getting boosted up to like 40, maybe even 50% defense. And this is going to be quite a big boost. Some characters out there really need a defense leader that gives defense rating. And he's a rainbow lead, which is obviously great. All teammates getting defense down block for 4 turns probably would stay the same. That actually might get rebalanced. I think 4 turns is a lot. So they potentially could bring it down to 3 by boosting the defense up to like 40, 45. We'll have to wait and see there. Awaken system isn't, I don't think, just about making them stronger. It's also about making sure everything's balanced as well. But we'll have to see what Scopely decides to do. I think the rest of his stuff is actually pretty good. I think he's got a passive where, yeah, stat mods are 30% more effective on this fighter. I'd like to see this be like a 50%. Like, let's see some crazy stats on Ezekiel as a leader. And I think even his signature move is kind of nuts. Like, this would go down to turn 1 most likely. Guardian shields. He gets bonus HP. Yeah, I think Ezekiel could be a really good fighter. Again, I think he's another character with a terrible base weapon. We'll have to see what they do because it's nice. Because it's Ezekiel's prepared staff knife. You know, it is actually a pretty nice weapon when in the visuals, but in the actual reality of it, not so much. So that was just a little look at the potential on what is going to happen. Scopely information, the 2 polls I've got running on my channel. If you do want to go and vote on those 2 polls, you still can. I'm not sure how long Scopely are going to kind of like keep these polls open, but hey, just vote on those polls. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comments down below on this video. Also on those polls too, Scopely will check them potentially, so you could sway it one way or the other with some comments, maybe some other characters you'd like to see. This isn't just the only characters that are potentially going to be awakened. There are no doubts going to be more characters coming in the future. Stay tuned for more information on awakened characters going forward, guys, be it the release of new awakened characters or awakened character lists. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. As always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.